Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is the devil is after your food and your freedom. And summertime is always a slow time for a Prophecy Club. So if God has blessed you and you can help us, we would really appreciate that. All right, so the first part is talking about our food. Again, I've said many times, scalar wave is what's causing this climate change. It's high technology developed by Nikola Tesla back in the 50s or something like that. But they perfected it, and now it can cause large areas of our atmosphere to get super hot, super cold. It causes tornadoes, volcanoes, earthquakes. Oh, it's a wonderful, devilish device. This is from the Kansas Wheat Organization. They do this every year, and I signed up for it a couple of years ago, and this was this week's report, and there's only one more report coming. And as it says, July 17th, wheat harvest continues to be a slog with producers fighting rains and weeds to get the crop across the scale. Harvest is now 71% complete. That means almost all of it is in. That is coming in. Well behind the 98% last year and 94% for the 5-year average, meaning there's not going to be as much wheat this next year as there has been in past years. It goes on to say, in the far southwest corner of the state, that would be Kansas, Morgan Walls with Elkhart Co-op reports wheat harvest in Morton County has been a drag. Weather has been inhibitive, there's your scalar wave. Quality has been a challenge, and weeds continue to be a struggle. Rain delays have continuously deteriorated test weights. Wheat harvest should finally finish by the end of this week. 70 to 75% of the planted acres were zeroed. Zeroed? That means nothing came in. Did you catch that? 70 to, I didn't write it. It's from the Kansas wheat people. 70 to 75% of the planted acres were zeroed out by crop insurance. In other words, there was no food on them. There was no wheat grown. And more acres were taken out by spotty hail in the last couple of weeks. Test weights are averaging lighter than preferred at about 58 pounds per bushel, with protein ranging from 12 to 14%. Now, let me say something a little bit about that protein. Okay, so if the protein is low, then the bread won't rise. Now, that's fine if you want to make pizza or enchiladas or something like that. But if you want to make bread, sorry, Charlie, I believe it's supposed to be up around 12 to 14 minimum. And not all of it is around 12 to 14 minimum. And that's the reason, by the way, you want to get your wheat from Joseph Kitchen, because we make certain that it is bread-making wheat. Matter of fact, there are thousands of various wheat varieties, and not all of them are suited to make bread. Now, some are fine for if you want to make unleavened bread, flat bread. If you want to make pizza or something like that, or enchilada, fine. But if you want to make bread, you better get the right wheat, and that's why I'll send you to josephkitchen.com. All right, so let's go on. Here come the grasshoppers. The most important news says in 2023, global crops have been devastated by plague after plague. Farmers in the U.S. and elsewhere have had to deal with seemingly endless drought, unprecedented heat, nightmarish flooding, and horrifying outbreaks of disease. In fact, citrus greening disease, never heard of it, is one of the primary reasons why orange harvest in Florida is only going to be about half the size as last year. Ravenous hordes of insects have been one plague that has been noticeably absent from the list, but that has now changed. Just recently, a swarm of grasshoppers that was so enormous it was actually spotted by weather radar descended on Tulare, Utah. The massive swarm of grasshoppers invaded this place, causing significant damage to crops. The plague-like surge was captured by weather radar systems. The meteorologist told Salt Lake Tribune that the usual radar detection of the grasshoppers was associated with a distinctive, non-uniform movement. That's how they could tell they were grasshoppers. Normally, we don't see swarms this size in North America. And, of course, there's a whole lot of things we don't normally see in the blessed America. But since we're not the blessed America anymore, we're now the cursed America because we have fallen away from our God. We've become the habitation of devils, the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird, Revelation 18. But the warmer and the drier winters that we have witnessed in recent years have resulted in a population explosion of the grasshoppers. So now they've returned in extremely large numbers, and when they arrive on a farm, they literally eat everything in sight with only a couple of hours. Every bit of alfalfa that's in the fields is gone. It was bare dirt within a matter of hours, they say. On top of that, Russia just announced on Monday that it's suspending a crucial deal that allows the grain to be exported from Ukraine. Now, they're saying, no, we aren't going to let Ukraine export any more grain. And another report, I don't think this report says it, but another report says because they have learned that when the ships come in to load up the grain, they're bringing weapons, probably from NATO and Poland and United States. Moscow claimed that the deal only had benefited Ukraine. Russian exports were blocked from foreign markets due to Western sanctions. Now, let's go to talk about globalism. Remember, the scripture says that God will put on their hearts to fulfill his will and decree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled. Meaning, God put on the hearts of evil people in high places to form a world government. Why? Because then they'll all form that world government underneath the beast or the Antichrist. Then they will all go down to attack little Israel. When they do, it's not that they want to, God makes them. Then that's when Jesus returns and destroys them all in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, with the morning star at the last trump. Globalists making final moves to implement the Great Reset, followed by a worldwide totalitarianism. One of the most important things happening right now that too many people are aware of due to the many distractions dominating media headlines involves the globalist effort to silence all truth. Now, I want to say something about that. See, Prophecy Club used to be up to almost 100,000 subscribers. And all of a sudden, we got, I can't say the word because their filters will pick it up, but we got hit with a disciplinary action. But they didn't tell us what we did wrong. Oh, I know what we did wrong. We started explaining the real truth that most of the other people don't understand. And so consequently, they hit us. Then a few days later, they hit us again. Now, if we get 3 hits within 90 days, they cancel it. So we stopped all uploads. For 62 days, as you well know, we didn't upload anything. On the 62nd day, they still deleted the channel. 5 years of sermons, 5 years of Bible studies, 5 years of Prophecy Club, including our crusades, our prayer, 24-hour, or actually 48 hours of prayer. They just deleted it all. Now, was there any kind of a redress of grievances? Is there a board that you could go to complain? No. Would you like to write a letter? No. They never responded, even when we complained. They just do what they want to do. And this is saying, and I agree, and I understand it now. I want you to look right here. One of the most important things happening right now, too many people are aware of, due to many distractions, dominating media headlines, involves the globalist effort to silence all truth. We see that. We see there's a real battle. I think it was Patrick Henry that said, I might not agree with what you say, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it. See, this is what the King of England was doing to our forefathers. They were silencing the truth, which is why we put that into our documents to start our country. But now we see that evil has once again gained control of our nation, and it's shutting down truth. There are words right now, I know, if I say, they will take me off. Because they're silencing the truth. And so I look at some of these places that have 200, 300, 400, maybe even 500,000 subscribers. And I'm saying, okay, so either you have an in with them or you're not really telling the hard truth. Well, the truth is they're probably not saying the things, the real hard truth, really exposing what's really going on. And so I guess one guy said, well, I guess that's a compliment that they took you off, right? I said, well, it's a hard compliment because the way apparently this thing works when they take us off, they don't send any more email notices saying that we have made a new posting. And the people can't find us. Now, I understand if you do a search for Prophecy Club, it still comes up. So anyway, silence all truth, eliminate all cache. We've been talking about that. This is nothing new. And implement a global system of digital identification for all people. Now, those 3 lines there are real important. I'm going to read them again. So the globalists have 3 goals. They have more now, but these 3: silence all truth. We've seen it. Eliminate all cache. I'm telling you, very shortly, probably this summer, we're going to see a big change in our finances. They're going to take the first step in eliminating cash. That's coins and paper. Eventually it's going to go away. You mark my word. And implement a global system of digital identification for all people. It has to be. Because the Bible says, Revelation 13, no man might buy or sell save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. It's coming. The United Nations is pushing hard to create a global system of tyranny, that's exactly what it is, in which the globalists control everything. And they're going to get it. That's what the Bible says. They plan to do this by consolidating all governments. That's what Revelation 13 says, Daniel 7, when all of the 7 continents are all divided into 10 global regions with one man, the Antichrist or the beast, heading it up. They plan to do this by consolidating all governments, money systems, and food supply chains under their authority. Now, what is that saying to you? That's saying that, for example, if you want to be able to barter, you've got to have something that somebody else wants. Okay, gold and silver is a very good idea on that, and I can't give you advice on that. But I do suggest you call CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. They're Christians. They follow Prophecy Club, and matter of fact, you call, you say Prophecy Club, they'll love you. They already know. And you won't have to inform them. They might try informing you because they know what's going on. But they can give you the advice that I can't give you. Okay, and you just say, well, okay, here's my situation. I got a little here, I got a little there. I'm not exactly certain what to do with it. They'll give you the advice. Second thing, I suggest you go to josephskitchen.com. Get yourself a food. Get yourself some food because, okay, there's a time you pull up to get gas, and pulling out a loaf of bread might not get you any gas. Pulling out a gold or a silver coin will probably get you all the gas you want. Even if the credit card, even the electricity's down, if they can pump it out of the ground, they will trade it for a silver coin. On the other hand, you can't eat gold and silver. So there's a time when having gold and silver is not going to be as advantageous as having a loaf of bread. You walk up to somebody with a loaf of bread and they're hungry, you can pretty much get whatever you want. josephkitchen.com has the right wheat, the wheat that actually grows. It gets big. It makes loaves of bread. They also have videos and recipes, show you how to do it. And here's what you want to do. You want to go there, and first thing is get yourself what is called a machine package. That's the device that grinds the wheat berries into flour. Then you put it into a bread machine along with 6 other ingredients. Push about 2 hours, and 20 minutes later, you have a nice hot steaming loaf of whole wheat bread, which I'm getting hungry right now. So I'm about to go get me a piece of loaf of bread or a piece of bread. And then you decide how much you want. You want food for 2 people for a year, 4 people a year, 6 people for a year. How much food do you want? And they're going to ship it out. Matter of fact, normally it's shipped out within 24 hours. Sometimes if you ask them, they might even ship it out that day. And the wheat inside the barrels, I don't know, probably 25 years it lasts a long time. josephskitchen.com. 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 CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. josephskitchen.com.
Today, we live in unsettling times. Have you ever wondered what you're going to do when food is no longer on the shelves? I'm Leslie, owner and founder of Joseph's Kitchen, and I want to show you how to make healthy, homemade, whole wheat bread for only a few $100s a year.
At Joseph's Kitchen, our ingredients have been packaged for immediate use or long-term storage. Go to josephskitchen.com or call the number on your screen to order today. Don't get caught unprepared. Go to josephskitchen.com now.
Terry Saka with CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. So what's going on in the world of finances? Why should they call today?
Well, China has laid out in a speech a few weeks ago exactly what they think of the United States. I haven't seen that in my 55 years. With China and Russia forming these reserve currencies, new reserve currency, we better be prepared because that dollar is going to be in deep trouble and we're going to need assets to protect us from it.
CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. Call them or go online, CornerstoneAssetMetals.com, or call them at 888-747-3309. 888-747-3309. I suggest you not only go to prophecyclub.com, you not only want to just get this book here, which is what we're talking about today, God's Warnings to America. One's $20, but don't get one. Get 5 for $30. That's a better deal. That way you got 4 to give away to your friends. Because you start reading this, you're going to want to give it away to other people. Now, here's a better deal. So I've written 4 of these books. I wrote this one. I wrote Daniel, Tribulation Secrets of Daniel, and Miss the Mark, and also Understand Bible Prophecy, Secret Door. I compiled this one. These are prophecies that I gathered from these people, though I think there's only one from me. So, I mean, I didn't write it. I just compiled it, printed it, paid for it to be printed so that you can have a copy of it. However, what the very, very best deal, I think maybe the best we've ever had at the Prophecy Club in 30 years, this one is How Pre-Trib Won. This one is explaining to you how the truth beat the lie. How is it that the truth of the fact that there's not a pre-trib rapture lost the match, and everybody believes there's going to be a pre-trib rapture? How did that happen? And then I also go in and give you the scriptures, very plainly and simply lay it out for you, and I show you why there's not going to be a pre-trib rapture. Then this book is the Tribulation Secrets in Daniel. It's where I take verse by verse part of Daniel. Don't need the whole book. This is the part of Daniel that as a last days Christian, you need to know and understand. Then Miss the Mark. This has actually turned out to be a very, very popular book because the whole point is to convince people not to take the mark of the beast. Now, Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, this one is, it's not complicated, but it's deep. This is teaching you how to understand Bible prophecy. Whereas Miss the Mark, this is for the person that maybe not even a Christian. They're certainly not a prophecy student. They probably don't know much about the Bible at all. But this one is a book that you hand to someone. You don't know about the mark of the beast? Well, here, read this. And if they'll read the first page or two, they won't put it down. They'll read the whole thing. And if they read the whole thing, whatever happens, they will not take that mark of the beast. And it has pictures of what the mark of the beast actually looks like. And as a matter of fact, we're in the process of getting it also translated into Spanish. Now, this is the offer that I suggest you get. Each one of these 5 DVDs, 2.5 hours each about, used to be offered for $30. Right now, you can get all 5 of them at prophecyclub.com, the DVDs, for a gift of $100. But the better deal would be for you to go to to Watch Prophecy Club right here, watchprophecyclub.com. And if you'll enter the promo code TPC 2023, you'll get the first month free. Means you can watch all 5 of these for free. What a deal, huh? And a better deal. Go to the TPC 2023 with a Y at the end. You get a $20 off on the normal $200 annual plan. That's the best deal. This is like $6,000 or $7,000 worth of DVDs. Took us 25 years to make them, all at watchprophecyclub.com. Did you get that? Watch instantly at watchprophecyclub.com. Next is, I'll send you to EMPShield.com. If you use the promo word prophecy, you get a $50 discount. What is that? Well, it looks like this. This is the one that goes into a car, okay? And you put the red wire to the red side of the battery, you put the black wire to the black side of the battery, and the green one attaches to the body of the car. Then you peel it off right back here. Just peel that off, stick it inside of the engine compartment of your car. And the whole point is when the electricity goes off or when some kind of a suitcase nuke or a nuclear device goes off, this is supposed to be able to stop that device from destroying every computer chip in your car. Because if every computer chip is destroyed in your car these days, you couldn't possibly replace them all. Throw the car away. So, EMPShield.com, promo code PROPHECY.